5 minutes piece by Jill Murphy. The children were having breakfast. This was not a pretty sight. Mrs. Large took a tray from the cupboard. She set it with a teapot, a milk jug, her favourite cup and saucer, a plate of marmalade toast and leftover cake from yesterday. She stuffed the morning paper into her pocket and sneaked off towards the door. "Where are you going with that tray, Mum?" asked Laura. "To the bathroom," said Mrs. Large. "Why?" asked the other two children. "Because I want 5 minutes peace from you lot, that's why," said Mrs. Large. "Can we come?" asked Lester as they trailed up the stairs behind her. "No," said Mrs. Large, "you can't." "What shall we do then?" asked Laura. "You can play," said Mrs. Large, "downstairs by yourselves and keep an eye on the baby." "I'm not a baby," muttered the little one. Mrs. Large ran a deep hot bath. She emptied half a bottle of bath foam into the water, plonked on her bath hat and got in. She poured herself a cup of tea and lay back with her eyes closed. It was heaven. "Can I play you my tune?" asked Lester. Mrs. Large opened one eye. "Must you?" she asked. "I've been practising," said Lester. "You told me to. Can I? Please, just for 1 minute." "Go on then," said Mrs. Large. So Lester played. He played Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star 3.5 times. In came Laura. "Can I read a page from my reading book?" she asked. "No, Laura," said Mrs. Large. "Go on, all of you, downstairs." "You let Lester play his tune," said Laura. "I heard you like him better than me. It's not fair." "Oh, don't be silly, Laura," said Mrs. Large. "Go on then, just 1 page." So Laura read. She read 4.5 pages of Little Red Riding Hood. In came the little one with a trunk full of toys. "For you," he beamed, flinging them all into the bathwater. "Thank you, dear," said Mrs. Large weakly. "Can I see the cartoons in the paper?" asked Laura. "Can I have the cake?" asked Lester. "Can I get in with you?" said the little one. Mrs. Large groaned. In the end, they all got in. The little one was in such a hurry that he forgot to take off his pyjamas. Mrs. Large got out. She dried herself, put on her dressing gown and headed for the door. "Where are you going now, Mum?" asked Laura. "To the kitchen," said Mrs. Large. "Why?" asked Lester. "Because I want 5 minutes peace from you lot," said Mrs. Large. "That's why." And off she went downstairs, where she had 3 minutes and 45 seconds of peace before they all came in.
The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. The sun did not shine, it was too wet to play, so we sat in the house on this cold, wet day. I sat there with Sally, we sat there we two, and I said how I wish we had something to do. Too warm to go out and too cold to play ball, so we sat in this house, we did nothing at all. So all we could do was to sit, and we did not like it, not one little bit. And then something went bump, how that bump made us jump. We looked, then we saw him step in on the mat. We looked, and we saw him, the Cat in the Hat. And he said to us, "Why do you sit there like that? I know it is wet and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun that is funny." "I know some good games we can play," said the cat. "I know some new tricks," said the Cat in the Hat. "A lot of good tricks, I will show them to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do." Then Sally and I did not know what to say. Our mother was out of the house for the day. But our fish said, no, no, make that cat go away. Tell that cat in the hat you do not want to play. He should not be here, he should not be about. He should not be here when your mother is out. Now, now, have no fear, said the cat. My tricks are not bad, said the cat in the hat. Why, we can have lots of good fun if you wish, with a game that I call Up, Up, Up with a fish. Put me down, said the fish. This is no fun at all. Put me down, said the fish. I do not wish to fall. Have no fear, said the cat. I will not let you fall. I will hold you up high as I stand on a ball, with a book on one hand and a cup on my hat. And that is not all I can do, said the cat. Look at me now, said the cat, with a cup and a cake on the top of my hat. I can hold up 2 books, I can hold up the fish, and a little toy ship and some milk on a dish. And look, I can hop up and down on the ball, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. Look at me now. It is fun to have fun, but you have to know how. I can hold up the cake and the milk and the cake. I can hold up these books and the fish on a rake. I can hold a toy ship and a little toy man, and look, with my tail, I can hold a red fan. I can fan with the fan as I hop on the ball, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. This is what the cat said. Then he fell on his head. He came down with a bump from up there on the ball, and Sally and I, we saw all the things fall. And our fish came down too. He fell into a pot. He said, do I like this? Oh no, I do not. This is not a good game, said our fish as he lit. No, I do not like it, not one little bit. Now look what you did, said the fish to the cat. Now look at this house, look at this, look at that. You sank our toy ship, sank it deep in the cake. You shook up our house and you bent our new rake. You should not be here when our mother is out. You get out of this house, said the fish in the pot. But I like to be here. Oh, I like it a lot, said the cat in the hat to the fish in the pot. I will not go away. I do not wish to go. And so said the cat in the hat, so. I will show you another good game that I know. And then he ran out. And then, fast as a fox, the cat in the hat came back in with a box. A big red box. It was shut with a hook. Now look at this trick, said the cat, take a look. Then he got up on top with the tip of his hat. I call this game fun in a box, said the cat. In this box are 2 things I will show to you now. You will like these 2 things, said the cat with a bow. I will pick up the hook, you will see something new, 2 things, and I call them thing 1 and thing 2. These things will not bite you, they want to have fun. Then out of the box came thing 2 and thing 1. And they ran to us fast, they said, how do you do? Would you like to shake hands with thing 1 and thing 2? And Sally and I did not know what to do, so we had to shake hands with thing 1 and thing 2. We shook their 2 hands, but our fish said, no, no, those things should not be in this house. Make them go. They should not be here when your mother is out. Put them out, said the fish in the pot. Have no fear, little fish, said the cat in the hat. These things are good things. And he gave them a pat. They are tame, oh so tame. They have come here to play. They will give you some fun on this wet, wet, wet day. Now here is a game that they like, said the cat. They like to fly kites, said the cat in the hat. No, not in the house, said the fish in the pot. They should not fly kites in the house, they should not. Oh, the things they will bump, oh, the things they will hit. Oh, I do not like it, not one little bit. Then Sally and I saw them run down the hall. We saw those 2 things bump their kites on the wall. Bump, thump, thump, bump, down the wall, in the hall. Thing 2 and Thing 1, they ran up, they ran down. On the string of one kite, we saw Mother's new gown, her gown with the dots that are pink, white and red. Then we saw one kite bump on the head of her bed. Then those things ran about with big bumps, jumps and kicks, and with hops and big thumps and all kinds of bad tricks. And I said, I do not like the way that they play. If Mother could see this, oh, what would she say? Then our fish said, look, look. And our fish shook with fear. Your mother is on her way home. Do you hear? Oh, what will she do to us? What will she say? Oh, she will not like it to find us this way. So do something fast, said the fish. Do you hear? I saw her. Your mother is near. So as fast as you can, think of something to do. You will have to get rid of Thing 1 and Thing 2. So as fast as they could, I went after my net. And I said, with my net, I can get them, I bet. I bet with my net, I can get those things yet. Then I let down my net, it came down with a plop. And I had them at last. Those 2 things had to stop. Then I said to the cat, now you do as I say. You pack up those things and you take them away. Oh dear, said the cat, you do not like our game. Oh dear, what a shame, what a shame, what a shame. Then he shut up the things in the box with the hook, and the cat went away with a sad kind of look. This is good, said the fish, he has gone away, yes, but your mother will come. She will find this big mess, and this mess is so big and so deep and so tall, we cannot pick it up. There's no way at all. And then, who was back in the house? Why, the cat. Have no fear of this mess, said the cat in the hat. I always pick up my playthings, and so I will show you another good trick that I know. Then we saw him pick up all the things that were down. He picked up the cake and the rake and the gown, and the milk and the strings and the books and the dish and the fan and the cup and the ship and the fish. And he put them away. Then he said, that is that. And then he was gone with a tip of his hat. Then our mother came in and she said to us too, did you have fun? Tell me, what did you do? And Sally and I did not know what to say. Should we tell her the things that went on there that day? Should we tell her about it? Now, what should we say? Well, what would you do if your mother asked you?
This poem is about a frog. I had a little frog. His name was Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water and swallowed the soap. And when he tried to speak, he had a bubble in his throat.
Hello, I'm going to read Chocolate Cake by Rosen. I love chocolate cake, and when I was a boy, I loved it even more. Sometimes we used to have it for tea, and Mum used to say, if there's any left over, you can have it to take to school. And the next day, I'd take it to school, wrapped in tin foil, open it up at playtime, and sit in the corner of the playground eating it. You know how the icing on the top is all shiny and it cracks as you bite into it. And there's the other kind of icing in the middle, and it sticks to your hands and you can lick your fingers and lick your lips. Oh, it's lovely. Anyway, once we had this chocolate cake for tea, and later I went to bed. But while I was in bed, I found myself waking up, licking my lips and smiling. I woke up proper. The chocolate cake. It was the first thing I thought of. I could almost see it. So I thought, what if I go downstairs and have a little nibble, yeah? It was all dark. Everyone was in bed, so it must have been really late. But I got out of bed, crept out of the door. And there's always a creaky floorboard, isn't there? Past Mum and Dad's room. Careful not to tread on any bits of broken toys or bits of Lego. You know what it's like treading on Lego with your bare feet? Yow! Shh. Downstairs, into the kitchen, open the cupboard, and there it is, all shining. So I take it out the cupboard, put it on the table, and I see that there's a few crumbs lying about the plate. So I lick my finger and run my finger all around the crumbs, scooping them up and putting them in my mouth. Oh, nice. Then I look again. On the one side where it's been cut, it's all crumbly. So I take a knife and I think I'll just tidy that bit up. Cut off the crumbly bits, scoop them up into the mouth. Nice. I looked at the cake again. Oh, that looks a bit funny now. One side doesn't match the other side. I'll just even it up a bit. So I take the knife and slice. This time the knife makes a little cracky noise as it goes through the hard icing on the top. A whole slice this time. Into the mouth. Oh, the icing on top and the icing in the middle. Oh, but now I can't stop myself. Knife. I just take any old slice at it and I've got this great big chunk and I'm cramming it in. What a greedy pig, but it's so nice. And there's another and another and I'm squealing and smacking my lips and I'm stuffing myself with it. And before I know it, I've eaten the lot. The whole lot. I look at the plate and it's all gone. Oh no. They're bound to notice, aren't they? A whole chocolate cake doesn't just disappear, does it? I know. I'll wash the plate up and the knife and put them away and maybe nobody'll notice. So I do that and creep, creep, creep. Back upstairs, back to bed, into bed, doze off, licking my lips with a lovely feeling in my belly. In the morning I get up, go downstairs, have breakfast. Mum's saying, have you got your dinner money? Yes. And don't forget to take some chocolate cake with you. I stopped breathing. What's the matter? She said. You normally jump at chocolate cake. I'm still not breathing. And she's looking at me really closely now. And she's looking at me just below my mouth. What's that? She says. What's what? I say. What's that there? What's what there? There, she says, pointing at my chin. I don't know, I say. It looks like chocolate, she says. It's not chocolate cake, is it? No answer. Is it? I don't know. She goes to the cupboard, looks up, top, middle, bottom, turns back to me. It's gone. It's all gone. You haven't eaten it, have you? I don't know. You don't know? You don't know if you've eaten a whole chocolate cake or not? When? When did you eat it? So I told her, and she said, well, what could she say? That's the last time I give you any cake to take to school. Now go, get out. No, wait. Not before you've washed your dirty, sticky face. I went upstairs and looked in the mirror And there it was, just below my mouth. A great big chocolate smudge. The giveaway. Maybe she'll forget about it by next week. I hope you enjoyed that poem, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Anyway, I've got to go. I've got things to do. Bye.
Hello, I'm going to read a chapter from George's Marvellous Medicine, one of my favourite children's books. Now, I'm going to read chapter 2, but before I start, George is being looked at by his mean old grandma. She's not a usual grandma like what you and I have. She is a wicked old witch of a grandma. The type of grandma that eats slugs and snails. Not very nice at all. And she doesn't treat George very nicely either. And he's a little bit frightened and wants to shake her up a bit, shall we say. So here it goes, the marvellous plan. George sat himself down at the table in the kitchen. He was shaking a little. Oh, how he hated Grandma. He really hated that horrid old witchy woman. And all of a sudden, he had a tremendous urge to do something about her. Something whopping, something absolutely terrific, a real shocker, a sort of explosion. He wanted to blow away the witchy smell that hung about her in the next room. He may have been only 8 years old, but he was a brave little boy. He was ready to take on this old woman. I'm not going to be frightened by her, he said softly to himself. But he was frightened. And that's why he wanted to suddenly explode her away. Well, not quite away, but he did want to shake the old woman up a bit. Very well then, what should it be? This whopping, terrific, exploding shock for Grandma. He would have liked to put a firework banger under her chair, but he didn't have one. He would have liked to put a long green snake down the back of her dress, but he didn't have a long green snake. He would have liked to put 6 big black rats in the room with her and lock the door, but he didn't have 6 black rats. As George sat there pondering this interesting problem, his eye fell upon the bottle of Grandma's brown medicine standing on the sideboard. Rotten stuff it seemed to be. 4 times a day, a large spoonful of it was shovelled into her mouth, and it didn't do her the slightest bit of good. She was always just as horrid after she'd had it as she had been before. The whole point of medicine surely was to make a person better. If it didn't do that, then it was quite useless. So, thought George suddenly, aha, I know exactly what I'll do. I shall make her a new medicine, one that is so strong and so fierce and so fantastic, it will either cure her completely or blow off the top of her head. I'll make her a magic medicine, a medicine no doctor in the world had ever made before. George looked at the kitchen clock. It said 10:05. There was nearly an hour left before Grandma's next dose was due at 11. Here we go then, cried George, jumping up from the table. A magic medicine it shall be. So give me a bug and a jumping flea, give me 2 snails and lizards 3, and a slimy squiggler from the sea, and the poisonous sting of a bumblebee, and the juice from the fruit of a jujube tree, and the powder bone of a wombat's knee, and 100 other things as well, each rather with a nasty smell. I'll stir them up, I'll boil them long, a mixture tough, a mixture strong, and then hey-ho, and down it goes, a nice big spoonful, hold your nose. Just gulp it down and have no fear. How'd you like it, Grandma dear? Will she go pop? Will she explode? Will she go flying down the road? Will she go puff and a puff of smoke start fizzing like a can of Coke? Who knows? Not I. Let's wait and see. I'm glad it's neither you nor me. Oh, Grandma, if you only knew what I have got in store for you.
Hello, I'm Mr. McCann, and today I'm going to read you a story. And the book that I've chosen is by a lady called Helen Poole, and it's called The Fields of Anfield Road. Now, Helen has been raised a Liverpool fan, and she has written this book. and dedicated to her grandfather and her father, who brought her up to be a Liverpool fan. And I thought, with what's going on recently with Liverpool, it's a pretty good time to read this book. Hello, I'm Kenny, named after the king. My family are football mad. I live in an LFC themed home with my grandpa, my mum and my dad. We are the Fields, and Annie, my sister, is proud of her Liverpool name. She wears her own sign saying "This is Anfield" with a big grin to every home game. My brother's called Mo. His middle name's Salah. He wears Liverpool tops with his nappy. Whenever he cries, we sing "Come on you Reds," as Liverpool songs make him happy. We have many pets, like Paisley the parrot, who loves to sing chants from the cop. We love you Liverpool, we do. Oh Liverpool, we love you. Shankly the schnauzer, who barks when we score. Woof, woof, woof. And a tabby cat called Mr. Klopp. In bright red cages live Hendo the hamster and another called Julie. We have a gerbil called Gerard, Firmino the fish, and a little mouse called Manny. In the garden are rabbits called Rafa and Rush, and a team of gnomes all dressed in red. Our lawn's a small patch with nets at either end, and flags fly high on the shed. Our living room looks just like a museum. We have our own trophy wall. The curtains, the carpets, the couches are red. Signed photos line the hall. Mum wears red socks when Liverpool play. My dad wears his lucky red vest. My sister holds tight to her Anfield sign, and I clutch Red Ted to my chest. Grandpa has something that brings us good luck. It's helped us in all our big wins. Every trophy we've ever won is thanks to this hanky, he grins. I held it in London, in Paris, and Turkey. It was in my pocket in Rome, and here in Madrid. The few times we've lost, it's all been my fault, as I left the hanky at home. If Liverpool lose, we all go mad. We shout, we stomp, we scream. To cheer ourselves up, we play Count the Cups and reasons why we love our team. Today is a big day for Liverpool fans. Once again, it's cup final day. On the way to the ground, we sing and we chant, "Ale, ale, ale." We have great seats. They're close to the dugout. The referee starts the first half. I cheer with the crowd, throw my hands in the air, and I wave my Liverpool scarf. Come on, you mighty Reds. But all of a sudden, the other team score. Before long, the score is 0-2. We feel so upset. It's all going wrong. What are we going to do? At the end of half time, I know what we need. The hanky from Grandpa's pocket. He gives it a kiss, hands it to me, and I race towards Klopp like a rocket. Jurgen, take this for luck. I know if you have it, we'll win. He grabs the hanky, high-fives me, and sticks it to his coat with a pin. The second half starts. We shoot, we score. Goal! We never give up. We soon score again. The crowd go wild. We're back in the race for the cup. In the very last seconds, we're awarded a pen. My heart pounds in my chest. Boom! The ball flies into the net. Hooray, we are the best. Mum and Annie are crying with joy. I notice that so is my Gramps. Dad lifts me onto his shoulders, and we watch as the team are crowned champs. The next day we go to the Champions Parade. The city looks like a Red Sea. I spot Jurgen waving Gramps' hanky. We're as happy as we could ever be. Later that night we get a surprise. An envelope waiting at home. It's Grandpa's hanky and a note from Klopp. To the Fields, you'll never walk alone.